Following our month-long campaign to raise funds for a Guatemalan orphanage, we boarded a plane with 200 pounds of toys and clothing. This is our 4th year in a row volunteering at Casa Guatemala, and we couldn't wait to see the kids. A 5-hour drive east from the city is Fronteras, the gateway town to the Rio Dulce, the jungle home of Casa Guatemala. I was once again awestruck by the commotion of heavy traffic and locals visiting the surrounding markets. We met with the director of fund development at the orphanage to discuss how our visit could best serve the children. Based on our funds raised and the most immediate needs of the organization, we purchased items to help maintain safety and operation of the infrastructure. We also purchased new art supplies for activities and projects we had planned for the kids throughout our stay at Casa Guatemala. With every dime of funds accounted for, we piled into the truck taking us to the water's edge. The only way to reach this isolated orphanage is via a stunning boat ride down the Rio Dulce. Upon arrival, we were instantly greeted by teachers and volunteers who immediately hopped into gear to help us as the children run alongside, enthusiastically inquiring about the new visitor and the boat full of gear. Teachers and volunteers created an inventory of clothing and toy donations we brought from Canada. Soon after, we were enticed by the little ones to go wander off and play. Clearly what they wanted above all gifts given was our love and attention. Some of the boys even lured us to their cabin to proudly show off their living space.
Right now, the beds, the mattresses have been taken off to get cleaned while a lot of the kids are away. They're using the opportunity. But normally this entire room, top, bottom, all the houses would be full of about 250 kids. So not all of them are here right now, but the majority will be back in January. So this is usually the only time of the year when children who do have a family that normally can't provide for them, will see their kids again. So that's also part of the expense. Part of the expense is to help these kids maintain a connection with their families, right? They want to show us something.
Mira,
Dile a la cámara, ¿qué es esto?
un helicóptero.
This was his gift for Christmas. Bueno. Oh my God, look at this. That's how they learn to climb the palm trees, you know, and then they pick us some cocos.
Volunteers at Casa Guatemala work very hard to improve the lives of these children, providing more than 250 energetic little souls, all with much needed attention, can be extremely exhausting work.
It's fun. It's tiring, but it's fun.
Why is it tiring?
I've slept 3 hours because the baby was coughing all night, so I look like a zombie at the moment. But yeah, it's not easy to work with kids, but it's great though.
Good. You do a good thing.
Yeah.
Like every other child, indulging hours of playtime is the only way to achieve momentary downtime. Taking advantage of the moment, we called them in to help us craft personalized thank you cards for every single one of our donators. With many of the other volunteers in a meeting, it was up to us to keep these kids entertained. Many loved the structure we were providing and stayed completely engaged in the activity. Although I'm not saying they always got along.
Don't eat your friends.
And some of the little niñas preferred to do their own thing sometimes. Many of the kids ended up covered in paint, but that just meant our activity was an example of sheer success. One little boy took this opportunity to practice his English.
Teeth.
Teeth.
Lips.
Lips.
Hair.
Hair.
Hair. Bueno.
So I figured I would just jump in and practice a little Spanish.
Hola.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
Ultimately, we got the distinct impression that these little ones were having a good time. We feel very lucky to be a part of their lives. Volunteers strive to keep the dreamer alive in children who will face many hardships in their lifetime. Karina provided them with little gifts, traditional bracelets from Brazil that award 3 wishes to the wearer. We feel it's very important for these kids to hold on to hope, to keep them strong and happy. It was fun watching them contemplate their wishes. Some desired toys and others new clothes. A few wished for us to stay forever. It was the ones who wished for a family someday that truly broke our hearts. To wrap up a memorable trip, we surprised the kids with a candy-stuffed piñata to reward them for their good behavior throughout our short visit. You can come to Casa Guatemala as a short-term visitor or a long-term volunteer. Either way, it is an unforgettable experience. Word to the wise, though, the hardest part of coming to the orphanage is leaving.